It's 8 a.m. None other than Coach Doug Gottlieb joins us now on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all.
Nice
Happy
quarter
Wednesday,
zip.
DG.
Nice quarter zip I see you're wearing today, DG.
You like this one? This is the gray quarter zip. I do. I'll let you in a little quarter zip secret in a second. Got my compound coffee ready to go. What could be better? Just beautiful balmy day at the Bay. I was driving home last night. I went to a high school game down near Madison. We're recruiting a 2027. I don't think I'm allowed to say his name. Anyway, I'm driving back and I was like, man, really weird. There's no snow on the ground now, right? It was like, are we not going to have, and then I started looking at my phone, like, are we ever going to have some substantial snow? Now, we don't have snow today, but the wind is howling. Mother Nature, not happy with your boy. But other than that, everything's great. Good morning to you guys.
DG, 6 out of the last 7 for GB men's basketball. Pause. Dude, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, look slightly better than last year.
Yeah, a little bit.
Slightly. But yeah, it's been awesome. Obviously the kids are really playing well, especially locking in on what we think a good game plan is. We've made some tweaks, obviously changing the starting lineup, changing rotation. We changed some defensive things as well, and we're seeing the benefit. Now I got to go on the road and play against former player, which didn't go well last time we did it. So we'll see, but I don't know. Like Sunday we play at home against Oakland. Greg Campy is probably the one. I think Darren Horn's Northern Kentucky team. They're really good, really, really good, really talented. That O'Day kid, holy cow! We told them he was like Westbrook, and they didn't believe us. And then they're like, "Holy coach, he's like Westbrook." But only he hit 5 threes against us. But if you can't, like, what are you doing Sunday if you can't get to the Crest in Green Bay or in the Fox River Valley? Like, it's going to be a fun atmosphere, a great game. I know we got other things to get to, but 1:00 Sunday at the Crest. It's not just that our games that we're playing better and winning games; they're entertaining games. It's good basketball, and for whatever reason, we don't actually want to win them by a lot of points. We're like, hey, we
get up by a lot of points. You get up by a lot of points.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing about being an underdog and still winning is you're not questioning your players. Like, are you guys shaving points? Like, so we're not point shaving. We just don't know how to deal with success sometimes. Like, don't do that thing.
Doug, we've been talking all show about just getting excited for college basketball. Obviously, the success of UWGB has been awesome. We also saw the Badgers program with a huge win over Michigan, and then a big buzzer beater, the first buzzer beater in almost a decade from the Badgers last night. As someone who's focusing on their own team and program, but then also looking at what's happening around the state, what was your reaction seeing that buzzer beater?
Last night, I mean, remember, we almost lost. We lost to Minnesota in overtime, and they hit like a half-court shot that was just after the buzzer. So I'm like, oh my, like and it's fascinating to watch Coach Gard after the game talk to his players. I'm like, I've been there. I know that locker room. It's super tight. It's not comfortable. But I thought, I mean, what a virtuoso they put on in Ann Arbor. We watched the whole game. I mean, just so Josh, my assistant coach, Kerry Rupp, who's 71 years old, and you're like, oh, he's coached he was in Indiana with Mike Davis, and the coach of Indiana was Dusty May was a manager then. So we're very close to their program. We share ideas and those guys talk all the time together. So we watched the game and the Badgers played great. And obviously they needed it because they had struggled in some of those big games previous to that. They hadn't been playing as well and kind of got thumped even at home. So, but last night I'm watching that thing. I was like, I mean, you prepare them for it, but there's so many things that you're processing, right? So they come down, Cade Tyson, right, hit the 3 from Minnesota.
Yep.
And like you said, okay, now lock in. And Blackwell comes down, and they just didn't stop the ball. So it's one of the things where you got to work on it time and again, where yes, you're worried about scoring, but what happens if it goes in? What happens if you miss? And then if it goes in, okay, do we press? Are we in a zone press? Are we in a man press? Are we trying to, because I mean, don't get me wrong, it's an amazing shot, but it wasn't that difficult to shot. Like that's a walk, that's a transition three. That's something kids practice all the time. You got to make them take a tougher shot than that if you're Minnesota. And I'm sure that's what Nico is telling his group. Like, yeah, you lost on a shot and it's devastating. You're playing well, all those things. But here's what we can learn from it, which is you can't, I don't care how dynamic a player is, and Blackwell's a dynamic scorer, so you don't want to foul, but you have to level him off. You have to force him into some sort of uncomfortable. If he hits one over, four hands, two guys, falling out of bounds, you tip your cap. What are you going to do? Because ours was kind of similar. It was a little bit further out, but they threw the ball in bounds, and our guys kind of got out of the way because they didn't want to foul. And like, you just got to stay between him and the basket and make him if he makes it over, it's like the Milwaukee game. You make it over Ramel Bethea, like, all right, what are we going to do? That's the best we can do. But you do have to work on, you make the shot, just everybody corral the guys, keep them in front of you, and try and make a half court or beyond shot.
UW Green Bay men's basketball head coach Doug Gottlieb joining us here on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Yeah, Josh exists. He was here on Friday, hung out with us at the Crest Center, went to the Black Sheep, somehow drove home. I don't know why.
Oh, I was fine. I was absolutely fine. It was good. I had a great time. And
were Wisconsin fine, or were you actually fine?
He was fine.
Hey, I made it home. No problem.
That's Josh. That's not actually like. That's not actually.
In Josh's defense, yes. I tried to keep feeding them beers, and he did politely turn them down. Yeah.
I got it. But let's just, for the record, I've been hit by a drunk driver. You weren't drunk, okay? So just for people, I'm
right. Please
chops.
Clarify. I was not.
But was Wisconsin fine is not fine, okay? It's not one of those. Not one of those. Like, it's only my third DUI. Yeah. Like, come on, dude.
Well, if something would have happened, I think they would have been like, "Oh, you're wearing a quarter zip. Okay, you're fine," and then probably let me go. Because as I pointed out at Black Sheep, I literally stopped Trevor and I went quarter zip, lady in a quarter zip. Then you walk in, quarter zip. Well, I was like, what is the quarter zip culture in Green Bay? This is nuts.
I don't know. I've never been a quarter zip guy. And now coaches have all gone to the quarter zips. And, in all candor, so partnership with Nicolay Bank. So they have, I have to wear something that says Nicolay Bank on my quarter zip. And then I've worn the same quarter zip in all of our recent wins. I didn't wear it when we lost to Campbell and when we lost to Wright State. It also, here's the gross part, hasn't been washed.
Let's go. Let's go. See, Trevor, don't throw it out. Whatever you do, don't throw it out after a game.
Throw it out. We're winning. Don't mess with the winning streak, dude.
Well, okay? I know it's just a crazy thought.
So here's what so what happened. Like, this is a real thing. We get back from the Virgin Islands, right? And we're getting ready. Who are we playing at home? Or I think it was Santa Barbara is when this thing started. Is that when we played? I can't remember. And I was like, what did I wear in the Virgin Islands when we were playing well? So we have because our staff, we have a group text, and they all wear the same thing. I think it looks better that way. And then I kind of do my own thing usually. So when we were in the Virgin Islands, I wore shorts, and somehow people thought that was like, we got an email from somebody who was like a GB fan, like, if you want to be a real program, like, wear pants. Like, stop. It has no effect on us winning games. They were Adidas golf shorts. It looked good. Anyway, so we have a golf polo that's gray and says Phoenix, and then I wear the white quarter zip with the Nicolay on the side. So I started wearing that, and then we wore something different at Wright State, and then I didn't bring it till when we played Campbell. Anyway, so that shirt and that quarter zip have not been washed in like a month. And we have recruits there. We had alumni there this past weekend. And I want to say, like, Hey, I don't smell great after a game. Like I'm up there sweating. I'm schwitzing. If anybody else is Jewish outside, you're like, oh, it's schwitzing. Yeah, I'm schwitzing. But imagine schwitzing in what we won 7 of 10, is that right? Or 7 of 9? What do we won? 7 of 10, 7 of 9, I think, whatever. All the 7 wins have been in the same polo and quarter zip, and they have not been washed.
I don't care if it
I'm
has
not
dirt on it.
superstitious.
You wear that thing.
I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious. It's like I don't want to get to the pearly gates and like St. Peter's like, had you worn the same quarter zip, you would. Like,
Yep.
I don't actually, I don't actually believe in superstition, but I don't want to not believe in superstition. So that's how we're going about it.
Just in case. Just in
Yeah,
case.
just in case.
You
I'm a
gotta
little
keep wearing
stitious. I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious.
All right, DG. Big day tomorrow. We are at Cleveland State. 6 out of 7 in a row, and you see Foster wonders, and Cleveland's not a state. So how are we going to go get this one and come home on Sunday against Oakland?
Well, there's also Ice Emery, who was signed to play here under Sonny, and then he chose to go to Western Carolina last year, and he was in the portal this year. He went to Cleveland State. He's a great kid. I think he played at Neenah High School. So I don't know how we're going to react. I know it better be better than how we reacted with Jeremiah Johnson, who gave us his career high. When my former starting 2 guard last year, he had a career high like 27, and it was like buddy ball to start the game. Like he hit a couple of shots, and they were like kind of like smiling, like, no, we're not going to do that again. So I don't know. I love Foster. He's an awesome human being. He just like the rest of us. We all went through it last year, and I think he just needed a fresh start. So the scouting report with Foster is like, don't let him shoot. Right? He's an elite shooter. They're an awesome offensive team. Awesome. And so we have to continue to play at our pace. We scored 51 the first half against Northern Kentucky, and hardly any of them were transition baskets. We were just really, really spacing them and using their matchup zone against them. And then we made shots. I mean, we had 80% of our threes, 73% of our field goals. But the point is that we can score plenty of points without playing at somebody else's pace. We actually play at the slowest pace in the league, despite the fact that we're scoring about 75 a game, just in terms of volume of shots. Part of it is we get to the free throw line a lot. So we got to learn that playing on the road is different. We've been trying to be more physical and be the team that hits first, and that's worked pretty well for us. You got to operate with the understanding that you're probably not going to get as many calls on the road as you do at home. And we got to be really good defensively. We got to defend the 3-point line, something that we've done, taking away. The thing about NKU is we took away their 2 best shooters. It was everybody else that got hot. We got to do this. The problem with Cleveland State is they kind of all shoot it well. So it's going to be a challenge to all 5 players to still maintain our gaps and take away the basket while challenging shots. It's hard because they can really score. And if you get caught up in one of these up and down games, I don't think we have the firepower to play at that pace. We got to play at our pace.
We are talking to Doug Gottlieb here on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Doug, I do it every week. I'm going to do it again here. Bringing up something non-basketball related. Obviously, we saw the Packers blow another game to the Bears, and their season ends. The conversation immediately moves to Matt LaFleur. Should he be brought back? We're hearing the conversations, negotiations taking place, trying to make that happen. Do you think that Matt LaFleur will be back as the head coach of the Packers? And is that the right decision?
I have no idea if he'll be back. My assumption is he will. You don't enter negotiations with a guy if you don't have the intentions of bringing him back, right? I mean, I think, and should he? I would say yes. Again, full disclosure, I'm new to this town, right? I mean, I think we all know this, but I can tell you that, he kind of resurrected Aaron Rodgers' career. I think if we're all honest with ourselves, we all like Jordan Love. I just don't know how good Jordan Love actually is, right? Is Matt LaFleur responsible for us thinking that Jordan Love is the next superstar quarterback? Or does Matt LaFleur hold Jordan Love back from being the superstar quarterback? Like, I don't, we all understand where I'm going with this discussion. Like, I think he's got to be really good as a play caller, offensive guy. And, I don't think he's lost the team. I mean, look, they had an unbelievable game plan. The kicker had inarguably the worst game of his career. They left 7 points on the field. And even if you go, hey, it's Soldier Field, it's hard to kick there. Great. Okay. You can't leave 7 points on the field. And what killed him was the third quarter, where you don't get a first down the first 2 drives. And now your defense was just exhausted in the second half. And the dam finally broke. Right. That's literally what happened. And they're built, if you look at the construction of this roster, by my estimation, okay, without talking to Gutekunst about it, when you bring in a Micah Parsons, you have a smaller, more athletic defense. The idea is a lot like the Indianapolis Colts with Peyton Manning, right? You have the better quarterback, you have the better offense, you get a lead, and now they're not going to run the ball, so you pin your ears back and you can get after the passer. Well, you take Micah Parsons out of it, and the construct of the defense is very, very different. It's a long way of saying I don't know how much of it was coaching and how much of it was, one, the players got tight, and two, they didn't have a good depth of talent at the end of the season because they were so banged up. But they're going to bring him back. They wouldn't enter negotiations otherwise. And, I do think it's the right thing to do, considering if you're honest with yourself, the team was just completely depleted by injury. You're going to have to change some coordinators probably. Obviously, special teams has been a sore spot all year, but I don't think. I also don't understand, why do you have to give somebody a new contract? This is
Thank you.
I know that he's got a year left.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like recruiting where you got to the coach has to have 4 years left or I'm not going to sign there, right? We're all essentially on 1-year deals. I don't know. Do you have to? He has a contract for next year. Like, go coach.
I just don't think the Packers want to give up the power in negotiation. If he goes next year, does great things, it's going to cost them even more, indeed, if they want to keep him. Where right now they're sitting down at a negotiation table saying, hey, we don't think we're going to pay you 18 to 20 million, but we could probably pay you 12 to 15. And if he goes into his last year of his contract and wins the Super Bowl next year, well, now he's super expensive. Maybe it's worth it.
There's no salary cap on coaches, so it doesn't. If you win it, if your biggest problem is how much should we pay our Super Bowl champion coach, these are first world problems.
That's
right?
That's fair.
Could not agree more, Doug.
I mean, look, here's the issue. I didn't like what Schefter did on Sunday on ESPN, where he started talking about John Harbaugh because of some connection with the former president of the Packers and the agent. He showed us where he gets his information, right? Where the agent calls him and go, who'd be a great candidate for the Packers? John Harbaugh, my guy, and here's why. But it's like, and I like John Harbaugh, but John Harbaugh has blown more games than the Ravens blew more games in the second half than the Packers ever have, right? So the point is, and we do this in coaching all the time. If you want to fire him, and I understand it, like emotions I was hot. I'm watching the TV as a Charger fan as well. This happened against Jacksonville 4 years ago. And I want to get to that in 1 second. I know you guys are tight on time, but the point is this: who's going to definitely be better? And if you're going to bring in somebody different, remember, you run the risk of changing all the verbiage, everything that Jordan Love knows. This is all he knows, right? And when you start changing all these other things within the structure of your team, you change the language to the quarterback, and there's going to be an adjustment period. Now, it may be for the better, but you do run the risk of it being for the worse. And so if the worst thing you get is a really disappointing loss to the Bears and a consistency of success, and look, losing your last 5 is a killer, okay? And it's one of those ones to where, the Vikings one didn't matter, but it does when people point out you lost 5 in a row. Or you go back to last year when they lost to the Bears and you lose a star wide receiver and you're like, well, look, you lose your last 2 games of the season again. I understand those things. But I'm telling you, if you're going to fire him, who are you going to hire that is going to immediately make you better? And I don't know if that answer absolutely exists. That's the issue with it. Because all these other guys are on the market for a reason, right? Like, I think Mike McDaniel's awesome, but the culture in Miami was terrible. Okay? I love John Harbaugh, but it was clear he couldn't get along with Lamar Jackson, and they lost a bunch of leads. I mean, Mike Tomlin, I think he's the best, but they've been 9-7 like every year for the last, like, it seems like last 10 years. So, is it the devil you know versus the devil you don't? And you also have to give him the benefit of the doubt of like, okay, all those blitzes in the second half, if Tucker Kraft's in there, that's who they find over the middle. Like, it's a completely different football team. If it's not like you lost, a cornerback or you lost a right guard. Like, you lost Micah Parsons. You lost, you lost Tucker Kraft. Like, that was your best wide receiver. I know he's a tight end, but that was his blanket. That was his go-to whoopee, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the first half of the season, and then you lose your best defensive player. So let's be honest and real. And even that, the kicker left 7 points on the field. You should have won the football game.
The best part about that Adam Schefter take is that he can't tweet at you and tell you to get in the gym because you're 10-8, baby. Let's go.
It's not personal towards Adam Schefter. Here's the thing. There's one rule in talking about coaching searches. Josh, do you know the rule?
No, let me know.
You don't talk about a job until that job is open. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. You don't talk about a job. Everybody knows that rule. And Adam Schefter, again, I get it. He got some information. He wanted to go with it. But, like, it's not even the body is warm. There's still a pulse there, dude.
Yeah, Craig Counsell didn't get the memo either, but I digress.
Yeah.
No, it's just, again, it's the same thing. You don't talk about a job unless that job is open. Everybody knows that. And Schefter obviously violated that one. And then he violated it because he was doing a favor to an agent. That's how you get your information. That's how that game works. So
almost as dirty as that quarter zip.
Here's that's pretty good. Solid work out of you. Here's the one thing that I'm gonna warn, and we're going through it as well, right? The one thing I'm gonna warn Packer fans for next year, I'm a Charger and a Packer fan. Okay, I can do it. NFC, AFC. My dream of them being in the Super Bowl, and the Chargers got destroyed because of injury, right? They got the 2 best tackles in football. They're not playing, and their offensive line got pummeled. But next year, like, there's PTSD from that loss. It's a real thing. Like, look, we suffer from it. Like, our guys were up 21 again or 19 to Northern Kentucky, right? And then I was like, here we go again. And they just start pelting threes. You're like, because this is kind of what's happened. I can tell you as a Charger fan that next year, like that, after the Jacksonville game, like, no lead was safe. And it takes a while to regain that confidence. And now it's with the Bears too. And how obnoxious is he? Like, Ben Johnson's obnoxious. Like, I first of all, if you just don't do the clown stuff and go for it on 4th down and try to run the trick plays, he's actually really, really good. He's an outstanding offensive coordinator, play caller. Where they get them, it's just like with the Lions. Like, the Lions cost themselves a Super Bowl shot 2 years, was it 3 years ago against San Francisco, going for it on 4th down sometimes, not going for it, not being aligned or whatever. But, like, you win the game, shake the guy's hand. Like, what are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
Win with some class. Okay? Win with some class. That's what you do in sports. And it wouldn't, if the Packers did that, I would have the exact same thing to say. I thought it was completely classless, and it reeked of a guy in an organization that hadn't done it before, And it's kind of like, Trevor, when we beat Milwaukee, like, people want me to, like, hate Bart. Like, I'm not gonna. Bart hasn't done anything to me other than kick my ass twice. That's it. Right? So I got no bone. I'm not gonna create some hatred when we're between the lines, yeah, I want to beat his ass. I want my team to win. Okay, but when we're done, we shake hands like men. Last year, he kicked my ass. I looked him in the eye and shook his hand, and I'm gonna do the same if we beat him down in Milwaukee. It's like I have no time for that because I don't think it's what did the Packers do to Ben Johnson other than dominate them for the last decade?
Yeah, that's that. It's pretty fair, and he's just playing the villain. Whatevs. All right, buddy. Hey, good luck tomorrow at Cleveland State. You don't look a day over 49. We can't wait to see you on Sunday. What?
Well, Trevor's he's sharing information that I don't know.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's my 50th birthday.
Yeah,
It is.
Happy birthday.
I turned 50 years old. I told, I got Andy Grounds, my assistant coach, and he shared with me a picture of us like 15 years ago. And I was like, hey, dude, you nailed it. You went bald early. If you go bald early, no one knows how old you are, right? You look old young, and you look young when you're old, right? Like Trevor's forever going to look this old. Like he will never age from this moment. 20 years from now, he'd be like, Trevor, you never age.
Yeah,
right.
I can see it now.
I
hate it so
crazy.
much.
Hey, can we listen? Can we get 3,000 people at the Crest on Sunday?
Yeah, let's do
like,
that.
What else are you doing? Packers aren't playing. You don't want to watch anybody else play. Don't give me this like get in your car. We got beer there. We got beer deals. If you're a high school coach or an AAU coach, call us, text us. We can get you guys free tickets, except for freshmen. Do you know this rule, Trevor?
Yeah, it's recruitment, right?
Yes, but I can give free tickets to 10th graders, 11th graders, 12th graders, 7th graders, 8th graders, to you, to anybody on my street. I can't give free tickets to freshmen in high school. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. I can recruit a player. If I had it, I could give him $1 million to come and play for Green Bay with NIL, right? I can't give a freshman from Preble High School a free ticket. So here's the thing. Again,
wow.
high school basketball players, we want you to see great basketball. Women's, men's. By the way, the women play tonight. Come to the Crest, pack that sucker tonight as well. Okay? Yeah. But reach out to us, to me, to Keel Gans, or to our ticket office. Tell them Coach G told you to call, and we will set you up because we want you to see great basketball. And then if you're a fan or if you're a parent, bring them. And we got good cold beer there that you can enjoy.
Love it.
Doug Gottlieb, GB men's head basketball coach, joining us on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. DG, we got to let you go. We got like a half an hour worth of commercials to play between now and 9 o'clock. Happy birthday, buddy. It's great to have you. We'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
Thanks,